Your healing journey is stuck. Archangel Michael just exposed the one person secretly sabotaging you. And their energy is more dangerous than you realize. This message is not for everyone. It is only for the one who has prayed fervently, waited patiently, and wondered silently, why is my healing not moving forward? If you felt the strange sensation of spiritual stillness, where your prayers don't break through, your progress seems frozen, and every step forward is somehow met with invisible resistance, then this message is not just for you, it is about you. At this sacred hour, Archangel Michael himself stands ready to reveal what your heart has sensed but your eyes could not yet see. You are not imagining it. This stagnation, this delay, this unexplainable pause in your healing is not because you lack faith. It is not because your prayers are wrong. It is not even because of a lack of alignment. The truth is more dangerous, more personal, more hidden. There is someone close to you who carries an energy that directly resists your restoration. Someone in your circle whose words may seem soft, but whose spirit is sharp. Someone whose presence leaves you drained, confused, anxious, and blocked. And the more you try to push forward, the more entangled you become in their invisible web. Heaven is sounding the alarm now, not because you are losing, but because the delay is not natural. It is interference. It is sabotage. And it is closer than you think. Do not ignore the internal signs. Do not explain away the sudden tension, the strange fatigue, the emotional instability. Do not assume this is just part of the process. This is not just warfare. It is strategic warfare. Someone has positioned themselves spiritually to stand in the way of your healing, whether they know it consciously or not. Their energy, their words, their hidden intentions have mingled with yours, and it's time for separation. But to hear what the Spirit is revealing, you must become still. Silence is your sanctuary now. Turn off the noise, the opinions, the outside chatter. The voice of Archangel Michael will not shout over distraction. His sword does not strike at random. This word will unlock clarity, but only for the one who dares to pause, to listen, and to let go of what is no longer safe. Your healing is not just delayed, it hath been interfered with. But now, the truth will rise. What was hidden will be revealed, and your freedom will follow. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Archangel Michael speaks. The hidden interference must now be revealed. In this sacred hour, the veil is thin. The Spirit of God is hovering over your healing, and the angelic hosts are stationed in silence, waiting your stillness, waiting your readiness to receive. I, Archangel Michael, speak not with the voice of man, but with the authority of heaven. This message is for the chosen one whose healing feels halted, yet you do not know why. You've searched your heart. You've repented. You've prayed with tears and waited with faith, yet something remains unmoved. This message is not for the casual listener. It is not for the spiritually distracted. This message is a divine alert, and it comes wrapped in urgency. For you are not only being healed, you are being targeted. Your healing has not been delayed by divine silence, but by demonic resistance hiding in familiar places. In the next few days, not weeks, not months, but within days, a revelation will be brought to you. But only if your spirit is prepared. Only if you are willing to see what you've been refusing to confront. Only if you have the courage to open your eyes to the spiritual saboteur standing quietly in your atmosphere. The one draining you has not come in rage but in disguise. The one blocking you does not wear the face of your enemy, but often appears as a friend, a confidant, a comfort. But the fruit of their presence is rot. You have felt it. You have known it, even if you could not yet name it. You leave conversations with them confused. You share your dreams and walk away discouraged. You seek support, but instead find your soul spinning in unrest. Your body knows it. Your spirit feels it. Heaven now confirms it. This interference is spiritual. This energy is not innocent. And this message is not meant to stir fear. It is meant to ignite awakening. You have been called to a high place. You have been marked for divine recovery. But what surrounds you must match what is healing within you. And right now, that match is misaligned. Archangel Michael has not come to whisper comfort. He has come to unsheathe the sword. For what has been sent against you must now be removed. What has grown in secret must now be exposed. Your assignment has been watched. Your process has been tracked. And though you felt overlooked by man, heaven has not missed a single cry, a single prayer, a single act of obedience. You must prepare. Prepare for revelation. Prepare for exposure. Prepare for clarity that may come with pain, but will end in freedom. Do not retaliate. Do not panic. Be still, and the sword of the Lord will do what your words cannot. In the next few days, clarity will arrive, but only for the one who is ready to receive it. If your ears are open, if your heart is willing, then this is your moment. The saboteur will not remain hidden much longer. Their energy is already growing louder in the spirit, and the Spirit of the Lord is about to make all things clear. Type "I am anointed" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. They smile in your face, but their spirit drains you in secret. There hath been a strange shift, quiet but constant. A twisting in conversations. A hesitation in your spirit after you speak with them. Something feels off. What once felt safe now stirs anxiety. What once felt supportive now carries the weight of confusion. But you couldn't put your finger on it. Until now. Yes, someone in your circle wears a mask of loyalty. But behind that mask is a slow erosion of your soul's clarity. They seem harmless. They seem helpful. They even pray with you, talk God with you, and cheer you on. But only when you're not too blessed, not too free, not too whole. Watch closely. Their encouragement is conditional. Their praise only extends so far. And when you begin to rise, something in them begins to shift. This is not imagination. This is interference cloaked in familiarity. They smile in your face, but behind closed doors they speak words laced with jealousy, skepticism, or bitterness. Their energy follows you long after they are gone. You feel heavy. You feel uncertain. You feel spiritually tangled, not because of what they said, but because of what their spirit released. You felt it before. Sudden confusion after sharing your dream, a cold distance after your testimony, a change in tone after your breakthrough. These are not coincidences. These are signals. These are spiritual leaks in your healing journey. And while you've been guarding against open enemies, the true drain has been sitting silently beside you, hidden in plain sight. Archangel Michael is exposing not just a person, but a pattern. a pattern of subtle sabotage that has long delayed your progress. The whisper of doubt, the unsolicited advice, the lingering sarcasm that mocks your anointing. This person doesn't need to curse you outright. Their energy curses what God is building in you simply by resisting it in secret. They come to you in moments of vulnerability. They offer concern, but it's tainted. They speak words of care, but their presence carries a rest. And every time you try to heal, grow, or rise, they are there, offering just enough support to keep you close, but never enough to help you soar. Their power over you is not physical, it is emotional, it's spiritual, it's energetic. And now, heaven is sounding the trumpet. Enough. You don't need to confront them with anger. You don't need to expose them publicly. You simply need to discern and detach. Your healing cannot share space with their hidden resentment. Your breakthrough cannot bloom in an atmosphere that secretly resents your rise. Do not let false peace keep you bound. Emotional confusion is not peace. It is a warning. God does not author chaos. The Holy Spirit does not cloak clarity in fog. And where there is consistent confusion, there is contamination. You were not meant to second-guess your healing. You were not created to tiptoe around someone else's unhealed ego. You are chosen to rise. And sometimes, rising means walking away from what appears safe but is spiritually dangerous. The energy you allow near your wounds determines how fast they heal. And the saboteur, they are not always loud. Sometimes, they are disguised as a listener, a helper, a lifelong friend. But discernment sees beyond familiarity. And now you see. Type I release all hidden enemies in the comments. Blessing code 1717 is now shielding your spirit. Your healing is sacred, and so is the mission of spreading messages like this to others still in the fog of spiritual sabotage. Every time you give, whether through super thanks, membership, or a seed sown via PayPal, you're not supporting us, you're fueling a divine rescue operation for souls under attack. God says in 2 Corinthians 9:10, "Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and that seed multiplies as light in dark places." If you're hearing this, it's because your spirit is already part of this assignment. As the sword of truth cuts through deception, your support becomes spiritual warfare, a bold declaration that healing must prevail and truth must go forth. Give not just as generosity, but as a prophetic act of obedience. Let your gift release light. Let your giving be a holy strike against delay. Let heaven see your yes. Tap super thanks below or join as a member. Or sow directly via PayPal. The link is in the video description. Let the heavens record your seed today. This is not personal. It is prophetic. You're under attack because you're next in line for healing. What you are experiencing is not random. It is not coincidence. It is not just a season of delay. It is an assault. A spiritual attack wrapped in human disguise. You have mistaken this as personal offense, emotional confusion, or strained relationships, but I tell you, it is much deeper. This is warfare. This is sabotage. This is the enemy of your soul using familiar faces to block unfamiliar glory. And now, heaven speaks to you clearly through the sword of the Archangel. Wake up. This battle is not about them. It is about what is coming for you. There is a spiritual system that has long worked against your healing, because healing is not just about your body, your emotions, or your past wounds. Your healing is the signal of your rise. It is the confirmation that what was broken is now becoming unbreakable. It is the proof that the generational pain ends with you, and that makes you dangerous to darkness. That is why the resistance didn't come from outside your camp, it rose from within. Because if the enemy cannot destroy you, he will plant someone close enough to distract you, confuse you, and delay you. He will send someone who talks like a helper, but moves like a hinderer. He will send someone who agrees with your calling in public but disagrees with your spirit in private. But understand this, heaven has watched it all. Not one word spoken behind your back has escaped divine ears. Not one manipulative conversation, not one draining encounter, not one false alliance had been missed. Archangel Michael has been stationed beside you, recording the moments when you felt unsettled but stayed quiet. The moments when your discernment spoke, but your emotions silenced it. And now, the alarm has sounded. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You are under surveillance, not by man, but by heaven. And the time for divine separation has come. Yes, you could confront them. Yes, you could tell them everything you feel. But that is not your instruction. Your instruction is silence. Your strategy is stillness. Your weapon is obedience. Because when you respond in spirit and not in flesh, heaven fights for you without delay. Your silence becomes a divine courtroom, where the truth is judged, and the guilty are revealed without your hands ever needing to strike. The one sabotaging you is not stronger than the God restoring you. Their interference is real, but it is not final. They may have delayed your healing, but they cannot deny it. What is being born in you is too pure, too powerful, too prophetic to be suffocated by human envy. The oil on your life is attracting warfare, but it is also attracting angels. And Archangel Michael is already moving on your behalf. This is not about bitterness. This is not about revenge. This is about alignment. You must be surrounded by those whose energy matches your calling. You must walk with those who pour into your healing, not pull it backward. Every relationship is either a ladder or a leash. And right now, heaven is cutting the leash. Let this message frame the truth for you. You are not in conflict. You are in a calling. And that calling comes with resistance. But divine justice is already in motion. The saboteur is known in the spirit, even if their face has yet to be revealed in the natural. But the sword is raised. A line is drawn. The healing must flow. This was never about them. This was about your destiny. And your destiny will not be denied. Type "I am protected by heaven" in the comments if you receive this word. Lesson code 333 has now sealed your breakthrough. The saboteur is preparing their next move. You must be spiritually awake within the next 72 hours. Hear this now, and do not take it lightly. The one who hath been silently sabotaging your healing is not finished. They are watching you more closely than you realize. They've sensed the shift in your spirit. They've noticed the fire returning to your prayers, the authority returning to your voice, and the light beginning to return to your eyes. And now they are stirred. They feel their grip slipping. They feel the distance growing between your spirit and their influence. And so, their energy is growing bolder. This is your warning. Within the next 72 hours, something will rise to the surface. A conversation, a strange message, a slip of the tongue, a bold reaction cloaked in concern. You may even hear something that was never meant for your ears, but God will cause it to reach you. The saboteur is planning to reattach, to reinsert their presence into your sacred process. But heaven is already preparing your discernment. Your protection will not be in confrontation, it will be in clarity. They are trying one more time to block what God is releasing in your life. This next move will be subtle, spiritual even. They may come with apologies, with unexpected compliments, with a need to check on you. But listen closely. Their tone will betray them. Their timing will expose them. Their words will be soft, but their spirit will not be in peace. And you will feel it again. That cold pull in your stomach. That spiritual unease. That tension in your chest after being near them. That is not anxiety. That is your discernment sounding the alarm. Do not ignore it this time. Do not push it aside in the name of peacekeeping. You are no longer in a season where you can afford to doubt your own spirit. The Holy Spirit is warning you, because this is not just another attack. This is the final attempt before your release. Archangel Michael is on assignment now. His sword is drawn. He is not coming to comfort. He is coming to divide, to sever ties that have pretended to be divine but have secretly been demonic. The saboteur is not some stranger. No, they are familiar. Too familiar. They know how to blend into your journey, how to echo your words, how to mirror your emotions. But their spirit is not aligned with your healing. Their heart does not rejoice when you rise. Their soul feels threatened when your wounds begin to close. And though their face wears a smile, their presence sows delay. You must understand the danger of this moment. Their energy is not just unhealthy, it is becoming toxic. And if you allow them to remain unchallenged in your space, their energy will grow more manipulative, more demanding, more possessive. What starts as subtle control will evolve into spiritual blockage, and you cannot afford to be delayed any longer. This is your moment to watch, to wait, and to be still. God will expose them, not through gossip, not through confrontation, but through divine discomfort. Watch what begins to feel strange. Watch who grows defensive without cause. Watch who begins to demand more of your attention as you grow quieter in their presence. It will not be hidden much longer. The veil is lifting. The mask is slipping. And when it happens, when you see it, feel it, and know it, do not engage. Do not argue. Do not explain. Just withdraw. That is your obedience. That is your escape. And that is how your healing accelerates. This energy is more dangerous than it seems. But now you are awake. And now you are protected. Type "I am awakened" in the comments if this message confirms your spirit. Lesson code 8844 is covering you now. Be still. Heaven fights when you don't. Now that the truth has begun to rise, your next steps are sacred. Heaven is watching not only how the saboteur reveals themselves, but how you respond when they do. You must resist the urge to speak, to confront, to vindicate yourself in the flesh. This is not the moment to argue. This is not the time to prove anything. Your silence is not weakness. It is warfare. Your stillness is not passive. It is a spiritual command backed by divine intervention. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. The hosts of heaven are in formation around your name. What the saboteur hoped to twist, delay, or control is now being wrested from their hands. But your role is to stay in the secret place, the still place, the protected place. You cannot out-debate a spirit. You cannot reason with hidden jealousy. You cannot explain discernment to someone whose heart has already closed against your healing. But heaven can. Heaven will. And heaven is already moving. This is where your obedience becomes your armor. Step back. Withdraw from the emotional entanglement. Pull your energy back from those who confuse you. Walk in quietness and prayer, not panic. The ones who seek access to your vulnerability must no longer find an open door. Close it, not in rage but in reverence. This next phase of your healing demands a pure environment, and God is purifying your surroundings by removing what your heart may still struggle to release. You may feel the pull to engage. The enemy knows your pattern, and he's counting on your reaction. But the Lord says today, be still. Let me fight for you. In Exodus 14:14, God declared, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That is not just a verse. It is a living instruction for this very hour of your life. There is power in your stillness. There is warfare in your silence. And there is victory in your surrender. This silence is not empty. It is pregnant with divine movement. Angels are moving where you cannot go. Justice is being issued in realms you cannot see. Heaven's court is open, and your case has been heard. What was spoken behind closed doors is being judged. What was sent against you in secret is being dismantled by fire. But you must stay hidden in the presence of God. You must stay low while heaven goes high on your behalf. Return to the secret place. Fast. Pray. Sit in quiet. Let your healing recalibrate without interference. The voices around you have been too loud for too long. The presence of the saboteur has created static in your spirit. And now, heaven is offering you divine clarity through divine quiet. You are being instructed, not abandoned. You are being pulled aside, not overlooked. This is the part of the journey where protection feels like separation. But you must trust the process. What feels like loneliness is really consecration. What feels like isolation is really insulation. God is building a shield around your breakthrough, and your obedience to stay still is sealing that protection in place. Repeat this aloud. No weapon formed against me will prosper. No hidden enemy will block what God has already begun in me. I stand still, and I let the Lord fight for me. Let that be your war cry. Let that be your anchor. Let that be your silence filled with power. Type I am still. God is moving in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 5050 is surrounding your space with divine defense. You are no longer who you were. Your healing has already changed you. Listen carefully. The person you were when this battle began no longer exists. The version of you that tolerated delay, confusion, manipulation, and emotional sabotage, that version has died in the fire. The ashes are still fresh, but your wings are already forming. The healing you've been waiting for is not just ahead, it is already happening within you. Quietly, powerfully, relentlessly. You are no longer stuck. You are no longer silent. And you are no longer blind to the things that once hindered you. This was never just about healing your body or your emotions. This was about transforming your identity. The war you've been in was designed to forge something unshakable inside of you, a discernment that cannot be bought, a strength that cannot be stolen, and a fire that cannot be extinguished by anyone's energy but God's. The saboteur thought they could delay you, but what they actually did was awaken the warrior within you. You are no longer the wounded. You are the rising. You are no longer begging for restoration. You are becoming the evidence of restoration. And that power is unsettling to those who preferred you broken. There are people who were only attached to the version of you that needed them. They could only love you as long as you stayed small. They could only support you as long as your healing didn't outgrow their control. But now, your elevation is making their comfort tremble. Let it tremble. The fire that exposed them is the same fire that's refining you. You are being forged in silence, sharpened in stillness, and crowned in private. And soon, very soon, what God is doing inside will burst forth outside. The glory will not be hidden. The healing will not be denied. The favor will not be stopped. Because heaven has declared it, you are rising. No more shrinking to make others feel comfortable. No more hiding your gifts to avoid jealousy. No more explaining your calling to those who never intended to support it. From this point forward, your movement is prophetic. Your words are assignments. Your presence is warfare. You are not just walking in healing. You are walking in divine authority. You may not feel powerful yet, but the atmosphere around you already recognizes it. Darkness flinches when you speak now. The saboteur's energy is disturbed when you enter the room. Why? Because you are carrying something different, something sacred, something eternal. You are walking proof that what was sent to break you actually build you. That the interference did not succeed. That heaven has had the final say. Archangel Michael has not just exposed the enemy, he has unleashed your next level. And now, you must walk like someone who has survived sabotage. You must carry yourself like someone who knows their identity, who knows their worth, and who no longer seeks permission to be whole. Let this moment mark your turning point. This is your permission slip to rise. This is your command to soar. The shadows tried to keep you hidden, but the light is calling you higher. The battle is behind you. The saboteur is beneath you. The power is within you, and the future is before you. This is no longer a recovery, it's a resurrection. And you are the living proof. Type I have risen in the comments if this resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 2929 is now igniting your inner fire. This opposition was your final barrier. Your breakthrough has been authorized. Hear this with your spirit, not just your ears. The pain you've endured, the confusion you faced, the resistance you've battled, none of it has been meaningless. Heaven was not ignoring you. The delays are not denials. What you've been walking through was the final barrier before breakthrough, the last test before transformation, the enemy's final push before he loses access to your life for good. A sabotage didn't come because you were weak. It came because you were too close to freedom. You were too close to emotional independence. Too close to full healing. Too close to walking in authority without apology. The enemy smelled your breakthrough before you could even perceive it. And so, he sent opposition, not through a stranger, but through someone familiar. He hoped it would wound you deeply enough to retreat. He hoped it would paralyze your faith, silence your prayers, and pull you back into cycles of self-doubt and second-guessing. But what he underestimated was the call of God on your life. The truth is, this person was never just a person. They were a spiritual test, a divine measurement, a mirror to show you what could no longer walk with you into your next season. Their resistance, their attitude, their passive sabotage, it all revealed something vital. Your circle had to be purified before your next level could be released. The weight of your next healing cannot be sustained in a polluted atmosphere. And so, heaven intervened, not to punish you, but to prepare you. This trial, this exposure, is not rejection. It is redirection. It is the severing of a spiritual tie that would have strangled your healing had it remained hidden any longer. You may feel sadness. You may feel grief. That is human. But make no mistake, you have just crossed a prophetic threshold. You are now standing in the birthing room of your breakthrough. Everything that seemed still is now moving. Everything that felt stuck is now being stirred. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of isolation, it has been seen, recorded, and is now being turned into reward. Heaven knows your name. Heaven knows your pain. Heaven knows your path. You have not been forsaken. You have been positioned. And now, Archangel Michael is sounding the release. The sword has fallen. The battle is shifting. The barrier is broken. You are entering the phase where divine healing accelerates. Clarity returns. Peace multiplies. And supernatural favor follows your every obedient step. Declare this out loud. I will not grieve what God has removed. I will not mourn what heaven has exposed. I will not fear what is ahead. I have passed the test. I have endured the fire. And I am ready for my release. This is not just emotional encouragement. It is prophetic activation. Your next level of healing has already been unlocked. You don't need to fight for it. You don't need to force it. You simply need to walk in it. The sabotage was real, but so is the promise. The interference was loud, but the victory is louder. Welcome to your moment. Your next dimension of restoration has been authorized by heaven itself. The battle is over. The breakthrough has begun. Type I receive my next level in the comments. Blessing code 7777 has just been released over your life. If this message has opened your eyes and awakened your spirit, then understand. This is not just a video. This is a lifeline to the broken, a trumpet to the chosen. Every seed you sow today is a strike against silence, a weapon against delay, a light for those still lost in spiritual sabotage. As it is written in Luke 6:38, give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is not just generosity, it is prophetic obedience in action. I speak to those whose spirits are burning with confirmation right now. You're not just receiving this word, you're being called to multiply it. Your gift today helps release more of these revelations to those who don't even know they are under attack. That is divine partnership. Give boldly. Give with purpose. Give knowing the heavens record obedience. Whether it's through a YouTube super thanks, membership, or a sacred seed through PayPal, your giving becomes a sword in the spirit. The PayPal link is in the description below. Tap into the flow. Respond in faith. Let your seed unlock healing in someone else's life. just as it is doing in yours. Speak it now. Your destiny awaits the sound of your voice. Now that the barrier has been broken and the saboteur unmasked, there remains one final step. You must declare it. Heaven has already moved. Archangel Michael has already drawn his sword. The interference has been exposed. But unless you open your mouth and speak what has been planted in your spirit, your healing will remain a dormant seed. Destiny must be activated by voice. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and what you speak in this moment determines what you step into next. You can no longer afford to whisper what God has declared loudly over your life. You must now prophesy over your own journey, your healing, your release, your breakthrough, your detachment from every soul tie that once fed on your delay. The Spirit is stirring you even now to speak with authority, not apology, to say it out loud, not just think it in your mind. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are becoming. Say this now, and mean every syllable. I choose my healing. I choose alignment. I choose peace. I choose my next level. These words are not suggestions. They are activations. Every time you speak in agreement with what heaven has revealed, angels are dispatched. Strongholds begin to crack. Emotional residue begins to lift. And your destiny responds with acceleration. You are not waiting on God. Heaven is now waiting on you. It's waiting on your decision to stop second-guessing your discernment, to stop holding space for people who have shown you, time and again, that their energy cannot walk beside your elevation. This is the hour where you make declarations, not excuses, where you lean into transformation, not toleration. Do not just listen to this message, journal it. Write down what you've been shown. Name what you now see clearly. Document who the saboteur was and how God revealed them. Record how your body reacted, how your spirit stirred, how the patterns changed when you withdrew. Why? Because your journal will become a testimony. Your words will become a blueprint. And what God does for you now will become proof that spiritual sabotage has no power when heaven reveals truth. Pray boldly. Write boldly. Speak boldly. Refuse to hide behind politeness or passive faith. Your healing has come with a cost, and your silence cannot afford to keep paying it. You must participate in your deliverance. You must walk in the awareness that you are a weapon in the hands of God. Rise up with purpose. Every part of you, your mind, your body, your voice, your actions, must come into alignment with what has just been unveiled. Do not shrink back. Do not return to the fog of confusion. The veil is lifted now. Walk in clarity. Walk in courage. Walk in divine confidence. Heaven has done its part. Now it's time to do yours. Declare it again. I choose my healing. I choose divine separation. I choose to walk in truth. I choose to rise. Let every word shake the atmosphere around you. Let every spoken truth uproot what's been hiding. Let your destiny rise to meet your voice. This is your moment to activate it all. Type I choose my healing in the comments if this message has reached your soul. Lesson code 4444 is now unlocking prophetic alignment over your life. What was stolen is now being returned, and heaven is moving without a sound. There are things being settled on your behalf in the spirit realm right now, and you haven't even been told about it yet. The moment you chose obedience over reaction, silence over confrontation, and truth over attachment, something shifted in heaven. There was a holy transaction, a divine rehearsal. And though no trumpet sounded and no fireworks went off, the spirit realm responded to your stillness like a command. Your surrender became currency, and God began to exchange every ounce of pain for power. This is what most people miss, that heaven moves in silence long before it reveals in public. What you felt as a breaking was actually a building. What you felt as isolation was sacred negotiation. Angels have been moving behind the veil, navigating situations, orchestrating encounters, softening hearts, closing wrong doors, and opening new ones. All while you thought nothing was happening. All while you sat in the quiet, questioning if you heard God right. But you didn't miss it. You didn't fail. You didn't fall behind. The exchange has already begun. Restless nights were not punishment. They were signs of heavenly activity. Sudden tears that made no sense. Those were spiritual downloads, emotions being pulled from your system to make room for what's coming. That fog you walked through for days at a time wasn't confusion. It was a divine sedation, protecting you from reacting before heaven finished its work. You were being held in stillness because angels were handling matters on levels you could not comprehend. Listen closely. Not all healing happens through noise. Not all deliverance requires a confrontation. Some of the greatest victories come through quiet obedience. You didn't have to expose them. You didn't have to defend yourself. Heaven did it for you. And what was stolen? Your joy, your time, your energy, your sense of peace, is now being returned with interest. There's a restoration unfolding that hasn't reached your physical realm yet, but it's coming. Contracts are being canceled in the spirit. Assignments formed against you are being torn up and cast into the fire. The words spoken behind your back are falling to the ground, void of power. The energy that tried to linger around your wounds is being cast out. And those who tried to delay your healing are now being silenced by the very angels that surround your name. Your role in this next phase is simple. Stay in alignment. Don't rush to speak. Don't move prematurely. Let the Spirit finish what it started. Let heaven continue the silent exchange until what was once warfare becomes favor. Until what was pain becomes purpose. Until what was once sabotage becomes sacred fuel for your assignment. There is no need to seek revenge. There is no reason to chase explanations. God is dealing with what you cannot. The saboteur has been identified in the spirit. The blockages have been uprooted. The heavens are open again over your life. And soon, what's been happening silently will manifest suddenly. Say it out loud. I receive the restoration that was hidden from me. I receive the silent blessings heaven has prepared. I walk in trust, not fear. I move in peace, not panic. And I believe that what was stolen is being returned. Heaven has already begun the exchange. Now, all you must do is continue walking in alignment with it. Type I receive my restoration in the comments if this word has found your spirit. Blessing code 6611 is now completing what was started in silence. The trap they set for you has become their own. Divine reversal has been activated. Justice does not always come wrapped in noise. Sometimes it unfolds in silence, yet strikes with precision. And now, hear this. Divine justice has begun to move on your behalf. What they plotted, what they whispered, what they attempted in darkness has now turned, and it has turned back on them. You were not defeated. You were not undone. You were being watched by heaven, and every seed of sabotage they sowed is returning to them tenfold. This is not revenge. This is not karma. This is God. This is righteousness. This is the spiritual law of divine recompense. For every tear you cried in silence, there is a harvest of joy. For every word they twisted, a greater truth is rising in your name. For every door they tried to shut, heaven is opening double. The tables are not just turning, they have already turned. And the saboteur now stands in the very confusion they tried to plant around your life. Archangel Michael has not only exposed, he has executed divine order. The sword was not only drawn to sever ties, but to swing back in justice. This is the hour where balance is restored, not by your hand, but by the hand of God. The lies they spoke are now being revealed. The energy they released is now boomeranging, and the trap they set to watch you fall has become a pit of their own design. God is not mocked. What a man sows he shall also reap. You may never see their downfall with your physical eyes, and that is mercy. But know this, heaven has repaid you. You are being lifted because you remained clean. You are being favored because you kept still. You are being vindicated because you chose obedience over offense. The saboteur hoped you would break, hoped you would react, hoped you would self-destruct trying to fix what only God could fix. But instead you trusted. You waited. You remained. And now justice rolls like thunder. There are some who will lose access to you, not because you blocked them, but because heaven did. There are some who will feel the sting of distance, not because you withdrew in bitterness, but because God removed them for your protection. Their assignments against your healing have expired. Your season in your life has closed, and what was once a false bond is now a faded memory. Let this truth anchor your spirit. You are not just healing, you are being rewarded. The battle you did not start, God has finished. The interference you did not cause, God has reversed. And the wounds you did not deserve are now being turned into wells of wisdom, power, and favor. Say it now, and let the spirit world hear you. No weapon formed against me has prospered. Every tongue that rose against me has fallen. Every plot sent to delay me has reversed. I walk in divine favor. I stand in divine justice, and I rise in divine timing. This is the part they never expected, your rise, your restoration, your acceleration. They planned for your pause, not your promotion. But God has written a different ending. And now, justice is not coming. It is here. Type "justice has found me" in the comments if this word confirms what you felt. Blessing code 8181 has now released divine reversal over your entire atmosphere. You are sealed, seen, and sent. Rise in your healing. And now that the sword has fallen and the truth has been revealed, you must no longer walk as the one who was wounded, but as the one who was delivered. Your healing was not just delayed, it was sabotage. And that sabotage was not random. It was strategic. The enemy knew what was on your life. The favor, the calling, the healing that would ripple through generations because of your obedience. He could not stop it, so he tried to distract it. He tried to stall it. He tried to poison it quietly through the familiar. But now the silence is broken. Archangel Michael has revealed what was hidden. The saboteur has been spiritually exposed. The interference has been revoked. And your healing is back in motion. Not because you forced it, but because you trusted. Not because you retaliated, but because you remained in stillness while heaven handled the unseen. This is your final word. You are sealed. Sealed by divine protection. Sealed by holy justice. Sealed by the fire of God that now surrounds your journey. You are seen. Every wound, every delay, every confusing moment, heaven saw it all. You were never invisible. You were never forgotten. The silence was not absence. It was preparation. And now, you are sent. Sent into the next phase of your healing with authority. Sent into your calling with fire in your bones. Sent into your future with angels going before you. You will walk differently now. You will speak differently. You will sense things before they happen. Because when you survive spiritual sabotage, your discernment sharpens. Your spirit strengthens. And your steps become divinely guided. So rise, not in fear, but in power. Walk, not as a victim, but as a vessel. Declare, not as one broken, but as one rebuilt by the hand of God. Say this aloud. I am sealed. I am seen. I am sent. My healing cannot be blocked. My purpose cannot be stopped. My God has revealed, restored, and revived me. This is the final word. This is your release. Type I am healed, I am free in the comments to seal this message. Blessing code 9999 has now completed the cycle and opened the next gate. If this word pierced your spirit, then know, it was meant to. Not just for you, but for every soul still wandering in the fog of hidden sabotage. Every time you sow, you're helping to send this message to someone who's been spiritually stuck, emotionally drained, and crying out for clarity. The oil on this message is not ordinary, and neither is your support. As Psalm 126:5 declares, those who sow in tears shall reap with songs of joy. Your giving today is not charity. It is warfare. It is obedience. That is kingdom momentum. You're not just supporting a channel. You're funding deliverance. You're sowing into revelation. You're unlocking healing for someone else, just as it's been unlocked for you. So rise in faith. Sow into this mission. You can tap Super Thanks below, become a member, or release a seed through the PayPal link in the description. However you give boldly, because what you release into the Spirit will not return void. Let your support today be the sound of chains breaking for someone else.